Sorry for the delay, friends. Here we go. We gather together in peace. We gather together in joy. We gather together in healing. We gather together in love. Brother, sister, you are not alone. Brother, sister, welcome home. We gather together in friendship. We gather together in faith. We gather together in harmony. We gather together in God. Brother, sister, you are not alone. Brother, sister, welcome home.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for your patience with us this morning, as I think the computer got overheated too. We begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional unceded territory of the Nanaimo Nation, and throughout Vancouver Islands we're occupying the land of approximately 50 First Nations. So please, wherever you are, take the time just to acknowledge the land and those who have cared for it for thousands of years. I want to welcome you all this morning, and we had a little slide up this morning saying, please share. I can't stress enough the value of sharing. You know, 86% of people who come to a spiritual service come because someone invited them. And that's what we can do now online, is just push that little share button, go public, and invite your friends to join us. Everyone is welcome here. And especially this morning, I want to welcome Anna and Mavis, who drove all the way up from Victoria to be with Reverend Vicki for her final performance. And especially I want to welcome Reverend Vicki for the last time as she prepares for her retirement on Wednesday. This will be her last talk for now. And I just wanted to say that Unity Vancouver Island is actually Vicki's legacy. It was we all birthed this thing, but she was the one who conceived the idea in the first place. So as we move forward and as you see how things take off from here, you can feel great pride that that is your legacy. And so, it is traditional to hand you flowers with a hug at the end. For now, I thought we'd just put them here for us all to enjoy. So she will be back, but for now, we wish Reverend Vicki happy travels, good fortune, and our love. So now let's have some more music, followed by Mavis Gleckler, who will read our daily special reading today.
Higher place, destined. Oh, for greatness, my soul has answered the call. Up, up, up to a higher place. Up, 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 far beyond this time and space. Up, up, up to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. Higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
That's you, Ken.
Don't run away. Don't run away.
Sorry, I wasn't really leaving.
It's a false.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and skies of white, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thank you, Louis. And now please welcome Mavis with today's reading.
Have a little bit of them in there. Just a touch.
Good morning.
Morning, Mavis.
I'm going to read a poem called I Am There by James Stillett Freeman. James Stillett Freeman was Unity's poet laureate. And he wrote this in 1947, and it was taken to the moon by the members of Apollo 15 in August of 1971. So that's 50 years ago. It's been on the moon for 50 years. So just take a moment and still yourself. The poem is I Am There. Do you need me? I am there. You cannot see me, yet I am the light you see by. You cannot hear me, yet I speak through your voice. You cannot feel me, yet I am the power at work in your hands. I am at work, though you do not understand my ways. I am at work, though you do not recognize my works. I am not strange visions. I am not mysteries. Only in absolute stillness, beyond self, can you know me as I am. And then, but as a feeling and a faith. Yet I am there. Yet I hear. Yet I answer. When you need me, I am there. Even if you deny me, I am there. Even when you feel most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am there when you pray and when you do not pray. I am in you, and you are in me. Only in your mind can you feel separate from me, for only in your mind are the mists of yours and mine. Yet only with your mind can you know me and experience me. Empty your heart of empty fears. When you get yourself out of the way, I am there. You can of yourself do nothing, but I can do all. And I am all in all. Though you may not see the good, good is there, for I am there. I am there because I have to be, because I am. Only in me does the world have meaning. Only out of me does the world take form. Only because of me does the world go forward. I am the law on which the movement of the stars and the growth of living cells are founded. I am the love that is laws fulfilling. I am assurance. I am peace. I am oneness. I am the law that you can live by. I am the love that you can cling to. I am your assurance. I am your peace. I am one with you. I am. Though you fail to find me, I do not fail you. Through your faith in me is unsure. My faith in you never wavers, because I know you, because I love you. Beloved, I am there. Thanks.
Thank you, Mavis. Would you just join me now and allow that reading to be our prayer today, and just sit with that, knowing we too are the great I am. We recognize that when we come together. One presence and one power. And so it is, and Yavel has a beautiful song for us now, following which Reverend Vicki will take the stand.
Hi, Unity, Vancouver Island. Great to be with you again. Thank you for the invite, Reverend Vicki, to share a song with you on this big topic of standing on holy ground. And I think I found a song that's suitable in a big way for whatever has been discussed, meditated on, contemplated on today. It's a song that encompasses the acceptance, the acknowledgement, the recognition that one power, divine source, God, is in everything, everywhere, all places, manifesting through all people in their different beliefs and traditions, spiritual frameworks, philosophies, that there truly is, in alignment with the unity teachings, oneness, one God, one power, one love. It will be. I'm acknowledging also, happy Friday. I did a recording earlier for a unity ministry out east for their Pride Service, and I thought, hey, that flag's looking pretty good. So I left it open. So happy Pride.
Even if you're dripping sweat. When people listen, they don't see it.
But yeah, it did seem to not work, and then just all at once it was just like, okay, we're back.
7 minutes.
Yeah, y'all Bell's videos 7 minutes. What?
I can hear everything.
There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and one power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Ba'ula, angels' wings or heaven's doors. But whatever name we give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. Un potere, un pouvoir, one love. We speak so many languages, have different colors, different clothing, different names. But different, it's only dangerous when we forget that in our hearts we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Ba'ula, Hashem, oh heaven's door. It's Mohammed, it's your mind, it's your soul, and it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, oh Father Time. But whatever name we give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name we give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. Un potere, one power, un pouvoir, one love. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. Of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. The serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon. It's the love that's most deep. It's one power.
Good morning.
Morning.
I wonder if any of you have ever had a day go not the way you planned it to go. Yeah, I see there's a couple of people here, they're raising their hands. You know what this morning brings back to mind is the first time I came here to speak on Easter Sunday. And there's all kinds of things happening. I'm not a technological person, but it turned out that our internet provider, and I don't even know if that's the right word, were cutting the lines right outside the building here, which is why we had, I don't know if you remember that Easter Sunday, we had kind of a few little bumps on the way. This morning, having a few more bumps. And you know what? That's when we find out if these principles work and if what we're talking about here matters at all. Because that's life, right? The unexpected, the things we can't control, the things we had no idea to anticipate. Can we remember, like what Mavis read, God is present, love is present, order is present. Can we just align ourselves with that and take a deep breath, which we've had a few deep breaths here this morning, and go forward? And so I just really want to thank everyone in this room who has been doing their part and holding the space for us to bring you this service this morning. And thank you, Javel, for the beautiful song. Javel and I have been communicating the last, few weeks about what he might sing on this. As Patricia mentioned, is my last day speaking for a while at Unity Vancouver Island, so thank you, Javel. And last week has been an extraordinary week, and I just have to take a couple minutes and share some things with you. On Wednesday, our spiritual enrichment team up in Comox Valley said, be at the park at 2 o'clock. That's all we're telling you. It's like, okay. So I showed up at the park under beautiful willow trees and surrounded by flowers, and 35 people from the community were there to celebrate and eat cake and great food and share some thoughts with me, and cards and gifts and all kinds of beautiful things happen in those 2 hours. And we had people from Victoria, Thomas and Leslie and Reverend Patricia came out from Nanaimo, and then of course the gang from Comox Valley. And then 2 days later, my two friends who are sitting here right now, Anna and Mavis, said, hey, do you want to have a Zoom call on Friday at 6? And I said, yeah, sure, okay, yeah. So I get on the call thinking it's going to be the three of us, and guess who's on the call? 35 more of my Unity friends. Again, there to celebrate and share, and I also got cards and gifts and photos and movies, and Javel sang a song, and somehow, I'll tell you, it's a really interesting, I don't know if you can ever arrange this sometime where you absolutely know nothing that is going on, and then you just kind of show up and enjoy the experience, because somehow gifts came all the way from Victoria through, I think, 2 or 3 sets of hands, and ended up, unbeknownst to me, sitting right next to me in the room where Joseph was hiding them, and I got to open up gifts online as well. So it's been a beautiful week. I feel recognized and celebrated, and my heart is very, very full. And I know there are many, many people who contributed to both of those experiences, and so I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Well, back in the early 90s, I went to San Francisco on a business trip. And on Sunday morning, thought, let's go out for a walk. Joseph was with me. And we went walking around, and if you've ever been to San Francisco, you're walking up a lot of the time. I know you have to walk down the same amount of time, but it doesn't feel that way. So we go up, 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 and we end up seeing this beautiful, it was Grace Cathedral. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Grace Cathedral. And of course the doors were open, it was Sunday morning. And so we went inside, and it's the first time I saw a labyrinth. So it's a huge cathedral, if you can picture like a European, style cathedral. And embedded in the floor is a labyrinth. it took my breath away. The light is shining through the stained glass windows. There's people doing something I had no idea what they were doing in the silence, slowly moving around. It was beautiful, silent. It felt sacred. So sacred space felt like a sacred space. It's an interesting term, you know, because, well, we're surrounded by space, right? Since you woke up this morning, you've probably been in several different spaces in your home. Perhaps you've been in your car, in your yard. We're all in a space right now. So how do we know what is sacred? What makes a place sacred? I'm curious about that because I love that feeling. So I want to know, how can I make a space sacred? Joseph and I have traveled to India 4 times, and each time we went, we stayed about 3 or 4 months. And when we were there, we saw and experienced many sacred places. Some of them we knew about beforehand and went there specifically to see them, but most of them we discovered once we were there. When we arrived at a new place and we spoke with people and talked to people, they would inevitably tell us with pride what was so special about that area. Everywhere we went, there was a holy place. A sacred mountain, a holy river, a special valley, a temple, a tree. People would share their knowledge with us. This is where Krishna started his journey. This is where Hanuman fought the demons. This is where the Buddha attained enlightenment. It got to be a thing, really. It was kind of fun to see how long it would take for us to be in a new place before someone asked us, well, have you been to the sacred fill in the blank? They wanted to tell us how special it was, what had happened there, how blessed they were to live so close to this holy spot. And we visited many, many of these places, magnificent temples and temple complexes where over acres and acres you have several temples, large, small, natural features like mountain peaks, rocks, rivers. In Hinduism, it's believed that all rivers come from heaven. So they are a direct line from the spiritual world to the earthly world. And touching them is like touching heaven. So, of course, we went to the Ganges River. And we went way up north to Rishikesh. And then we thought, okay, so where do we want to actually go down and view and visit the river from? And it was hard to choose a specific spot because, guess what? Every few miles along the river is a sacred spot. Where we went up to Rishikesh is where the Ganges meets the plains for the first time, where this river, this magnificent, beautiful river, comes tumbling out of the Himalaya mountains and meets flat ground. That is a holy spot. 15 miles downstream, 2 other rivers join the Ganges, and guess what? Super holy spot. So we're trying to figure out, okay, what's the sacred spot we want to visit? When we we did actually end up staying in Rishikesh, and amongst thousands of pilgrims who had journeyed there from all over India. Because it's the dream of every Hindu to bathe in the Ganges or to die close by so that their ashes can be put into the river. And we spent our days along the river, walking in the beautiful sand banks of the river, among huge boulders that had tumbled out of the mountains and landed in that spot. We could hear the river at night, and all day long we could hear temple bells ringing. We joined hundreds of people, probably maybe even thousands of people, on the riverbank at dusk every night to chant. And then perhaps you've seen pictures of lighting the little candles and the little palm leaf and placing them in the river and watching all these little twinkling lights go downstream. As we traveled in India, we stayed in ashrams, we chanted, prayed, meditated in incredible places. We didn't have to look very hard to find the sacred. What became very evident to us is in India, there is no separation between religious life and everyday life, between the mundane and the sacred. They are one and the same. Every person starts their day in some way acknowledging God. And whether at dawn we could hear the call to prayer from the mosque down the street, or across the street from us was a Hindu temple. And every morning, if we looked out the window, we could see every single person in the neighborhood go to that temple with their children, you know, with their little school backpacks on, going and making their offering and saying their prayers. Businessmen with their suitcases, women with their market baskets, ready to go to market. If you entered a shopkeeper's little tiny space in the morning, you would see between the rice and the soap a little teeny spot on the shelf where there would be a photo or a little statue perhaps. There'd be some flowers, some offering, some incense burning. And that's always what you smelled if you went into a shop early in the morning, because he had blessed himself and his shop before he opened. It was an amazing atmosphere to live in. And along every road and path, there were temples and shrines. You couldn't walk 100 feet without coming across one. And there would be, you know, sometimes they'd just be on like a pole, and it'd be this beautiful kind of arc shape. And then inside would be, you know, some aspect of God. It could be Lord Shiva, it could be Ganesh or something like that. And then there'd be little marigold flowers there that people had left. There would be incense burning, little candles would be burning. And so imagine my surprise one morning when I was out on a walk and I saw one of these little shrines, and I thought, oh, you know, gonna go pay my respects. And I leaned into it, and there was Mother Mary and baby Jesus in her arms. Also considered a holy place. Candles, flowers, incense burning, and Mary and Jesus. In the book of Exodus, we have a great story of holy ground. When Moses first approaches the burning bush, he's out in the desert, he sees a bush burning, he goes curious, goes up to see what's going on there, and the first thing that happens is he hears the voice of God, he hears the voice of the divine, and it says, "Come no further. Remove your sandals, for the ground on which you stand is holy." So do you think God meant that, you know, that ground that Moses was standing on was holy, and that, you know, if he walked a few steps over this way, that ground wasn't holy? No, of course not. No matter where we are, the ground on which we stand is holy, if we see it that way. There's a beautiful poem from Elizabeth Barrett Browning, and she says this: "Earth's crammed with heaven. Earth is crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he who sees takes off his shoes. The rest sit round and pluck berries." Earth's crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he who sees takes off his shoes. The rest sit round and pluck berries. And that's the challenge, isn't it? To see the sacred in everyday life, in every place we are. Earth is crammed with heaven, if we look. Millions of people travel to sacred spots around the planet. You can read about their, you know, they've written books about it. They've, you know, articles in magazines of miracles, of healing, of epiphanies that people experience in these holy spots. Lourdes, Uluru Rock in Australia, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu. These are places we call sacred or holy. What makes them so? We do. Perhaps when we are in these places, we open our eyes to the sacred that is all around us, and we allow the mystery to become visible. We take off our shoes, meaning we remove anything that stands between us and our experience of the divine. One of my classmates in ministerial school went to Unity of Hawaii, serving as their senior minister. And so, of course, it didn't take me long. It's like, "Hey, Tim, can I come visit you?" He said, "Yeah, come to Hawaii." So I spent a beautiful week there with my daughter, 10 days actually with my daughter. And during the Sunday service, there is a recognition, as many Sunday services do, of newcomers or visitors. And as we raised our hands to be, identifying ourselves as visitors, I was given this necklace, kukui nuts, also known as candle nuts. In ancient Hawaii, the kukui oil was used to make light because there's oil inside these beads. And all I had to do was take a piece of a spine of a palm leaf and stick it in and light it, and it would burn. To wear a kukui ano ano, a kukui seed lei like this, is to wear light. So why do you think Unity of Hawaii gives these to everyone? To remind us that we are the light within, that we are divine light in physical expression. In Unity, our second principle reminds us that as creations of the Creator, we too are divine. We have bodies, yeah, that's good. I kind of like being on the planet right now. We have minds, but that's not all who we are. That's not all of what we are. We have emotions, we have feelings. We are so much more than that. A line from one of my favorite songs, Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed, says, "We are made complete in the divine." The line before that, so profound. Nothing can be added to me. Nothing can be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. The last line of our prayer for protection says, "Wherever I am, God is." Wherever we are is sacred. And our challenge is to remember that, to treat ourselves and every place as sacred. So I invite you to, as you enter your week and your world, I invite you to do so with eyes that see the sacred, with the intention to express the sacred wherever you are. We are walking, talking, living, breathing sacred space. I invite you now to take that into your hearts as we come to our time of prayer and contemplation. I invite you now to take a deep breath, a holy breath. Feel the divine life moving into and throughout your entire being. As we bring ourselves to this still place, the hub of the circle, we empty our minds, relax our bodies, open our hearts. Yes, surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Embodied in us, as us, expressing through us, breathing us. Nothing can be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I invite you to hold that thought for a moment. I am made complete in the divine. Wherever I go, the divine is present. Every word I speak can be an expression of spirit. Every action I take can be grounded in love. We give thanks for this knowing, for this deepening understanding of who we are. A walking, talking, living, breathing, sacred space. And in this state of gratitude, we release this prayer, knowing that through it, it is contributing to the well-being and the good on the planet. And so it is. Amen.
Surely the presence
Thanks, Nico. Thank you, Reverend Vicki. Thank you, everybody, for this morning's patience, and to our tech team for getting service up and running. Yeah. Things you could do. You could do meetings, classes, discussion groups, meditations, volunteer opportunities, weeding. Painting, sanding. There's all sorts of things you could be doing. And of course, enjoying life is part of that as well. After service today, please join in fellowship with Pat Clarkson. Meeting ID is on your screen, and the passcode is there as well. And I believe there's a link in our newsletter that you can click on, and it'll take you right there. So if you're looking for some fellowship after service and some connection, I invite you to join in. And Monday at 7 p.m., June 28th, I act in these times with Reverend Vicki. You see, she's not going anywhere. You see, she claims that she's leaving, but she's not. Lies and deception. I'm kidding. Yes, join on Mondays at 7 p.m. There's a meeting ID there, and also in our newsletter you'll find that. And then coming up, I believe we have poetry sharing. Yes, begins a week from this coming Friday. So just about, 12 days? 12 days from now, July 9th at 7 p.m. in person, drop in. Oh, look at that. You will be able to either come to a space to see that. Is that here? Yes, that'll be here at Unity Nanaimo. You can drop in, or it'll be on Zoom at the same time. And if you wish to present a poem, please contact Dean Rath at tellus.net to do that. And as we prepare to reopen, we are requiring many hands. So tell us when you're available, and we will find a job for you. Please reach out to minister@unityvancouverisland.com, unityvancouverisland.com with what you can be doing to assist us with that. And throughout the week, you can get grounded and stay connected with Reverend Patricia Monday to Saturday at 9 a.m. on our Facebook page. And whether you join in live or join in later that day, it's available right there for you. It plays. You can go back through all of the history of those if you'd like, actually, and join in and pull one up for any day of the week that you're feeling you want some deeper connection and some meditation. And then on Sundays, prior to service at 10 a.m., we have Dawn or Margaret for a pre-service meditation on our Unity Facebook page. And gratitude. Who else? Yeah, Reverend Vicki. So I had the great pleasure of being up at the celebration on Wednesday with my wife Leslie and with Reverend Patricia. We headed up, as well as many people from the Comox Valley. And I'll keep it brief because I said some words there for you. And but what I'll say here is, in coming away from that and coming back here, and if I were to put it into words, what my takeaway is from those people's experience is that the work that Reverend Vicki has assisted so many people in is this idea that change happens outside of us. So we can change locations, we can change jobs, we can change our friends, all of that stuff can happen outside of us. But what happens inside is called transformation. And that's what those people were reflecting on, was the transformation that you assisted so many with and are continuing to do so here as well. So thank you for the great work that you've done. And donations at unityvancouverisland.com are fully accepted. We thank you for your financial support and, of course, any volunteer time you can do, but also the financials do need to be taken care of on a regular basis here, so we thank you in advance for that. And you'll notice there's an orange heart on our screen here, and I know this isn't part of today's agenda, but I think I feel I need to speak to something for this week, which was the discovery of another 750 unmarked graves at a residential school this past week. And there's a call on the internet for canceling Canada Day to some regard. And I want to bring this up because I'm struggling with this in how to how to honor and also not honor Canada Day as a settler of this land, and the bloodshed, the control that has been done over the years to the Indigenous people, I am horrified by. And at the same time, my grandparents came from Belgium in the late 1890s, and my grandfather went to fight in World War I to volunteer for Canada, and they wouldn't accept him because he was older and he had kids. So he took his life savings and got on a boat and went back and rejoined his cavalry. He was a cavalry sergeant, so he rejoined the Belgian army as a cavalry sergeant and fought and lived and came home and came back to Canada. And my uncles, many of my aunts and uncles, served in World War II. And so I'm at this place where I want to honor those people for the freedoms that they have afforded us and anybody that lives on this land now. And at the same time, I don't want to honor what we've done to the people that were here before. And however you choose to take on Canada Day, I invite you to do that, but to also remember that there are people, when I read the words to O Canada, things like, God, keep our land glorious and free, those people come to mind, that they've also given us the ability to have freedom, and many risked their lives for that and gave up their lives for that. And so there's somewhere in there is a balance, and I'm not sure what that looks like for each of us, but I invite you to take a moment and consider all sides of this, however you plan to go forward. And then I think the work to do after that is to really take on how we are going to heal this country from the wrongdoing that has been done. And I'm hoping to speak about that more in the future. So with that, please join me as we think of all of the abundance that we have, all of the opportunities that we have to contribute to others. And maybe the greatest gift we can give freely is our love. And if we truly come from a place of abundance, we have so much love within us that we can give freely. And when we do, it comes back in ways that you will never imagine. So I invite you to join me now in just with these words of our abundance affirmation. Being open to unlimited possibility, I joyfully share my gifts with the world. I welcome unexpected possibilities and attract miracles into my life.
If I hear the ocean roar, if I see the eagles soar, if I sense what flowers say, then this is my Thanksgiving Day. If I catch the raindrops kiss, if I feel the sunset's bliss, if I blend with nature's way, then this is my Thanksgiving Day. If I hear you talk to me, if I see what you can be, if I love you on your way, then this is my Thanksgiving Day. Every day is time to give. Every day is time to live. Every day is time to say that this is my Thanksgiving Day.
Please join me for the Vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And for our children's blessing, we see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you the way you are. And now for our prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen. And just hold a sec. Should we push the board meeting to 12:15 since we're 15 minutes late? Okay, so for any of our board members that are watching, 12:15 will be the start of our board meeting, and let there be peace on earth with that.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With love at our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With